everyone. Thank you so much for joining our week's movie club tonight. I know there's still a few people coming in for today, but we're so glad for those who are watching right now. Happy to see those in chat tonight. I really hope you enjoyed this movie. A classic to some fellow nerds of mine, and a little bit of an older film. So I hope you guys were able to watch it and enjoyed yourself doing so. Um, so yeah, I'm just glad you're all here and look forward to seeing everybody else as they come on in as well. It's just been good to see you. I hope you have all had a great week as well. Um, we're looking forward to tonight and having a great chat. Um, just going to start us off with. Sorry, my phone keeps turning off. Um, we're going to start off with, of course, our announcement of this is our movie club where we talk about movies openly and just the themes of the film and what and how we as Christians respond to those themes as well as families who watch. So thank you for watching. Thank you for participating and being involved. We're just going to go to the our next piece here, which is our guidelines for movie club. We ask that you share about movie club, share the hashtag, share with your friends, be involved, participate in movie club within your own homes, as well as here on the live streams every Monday night, except when we take a break, and to be kind and loving to one another, as you always are. But it's always a good reminder to those who are watching for the first time. I hope you really like Star Wars. It's a favorite of mine, but I am a bit of the sci-fi fan, and so this is a film close to my heart. So I'm just going to start us off. If you had a favorite moment of a film, favorite line of the film, we'd love to hear it. I always really like the dynamic of Princess Leia in this film, and so my favorite part is when they are going to rescue her, and then she shoots at the garbage disposal, and she goes, "Someone has to save our skins," and I love her dynamic and who she is. We talk about openly about movies here, so as I said before, and so spoiler alert is in effect. So if you have not seen Star Wars: A New Hope, feel free to pause this live stream, check in on it at another date, and watch the film. If you have, or you just aren't very worried about spoilers, feel free to be involved in the process here. So again, if you have a favorite line or a favorite scene in the film, feel free to share that. I would love to start us off in that kind of field right now. Welcome, Dapper Q. I got a bad feeling about this. Yeah, it's like the perfect moment of a character that sums up what the audience is feeling in that moment. It's like, I love moments like that in film where it's just like, that's what I was thinking. Yeah, I like that as well. Um, all of C3PO's lines. I didn't gain an appreciation for C3PO until I was kind of like a teenager, but I really do appreciate him now. I used to just think fuddy duddy, Astro Droid, but Protocol Droid. My apologies. R2D2's the Astro Droid. Um, but yeah, no, he's quite a character. That one, he's got great lines with like amazingly long and complicated sequences to them, and so I'm always impressed with the actor who plays C3PO to remember and deliver those lines so well. Um, so yeah, well, thank you so much. Well, as we begin every live stream with this, we might as well continue it. What snack did you enjoy during your watch of Star Wars: A New Hope? Um, I have to say this just for those watching the movie club. It's hard for me to say the full title of this film because when it first came out in 1977, it was just Star Wars. There was no subtitle. There was nothing. And so when I remember it, I always remember it as Star Wars and then Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi. And so, but when sequels and prequels and things started coming out, George Lucas, when they did the remastered, said A New Hope and added that preschool. But when it was first came out in theaters back in the 70s, it was just Star Wars. It was a one-off sci-fi operatic adventure. Um, it was still really great. Um, so yeah. So what snack did you have during your movie time? I had um, an ice cream sandwich for my snack. So I don't have one here on the table with me because I don't want it to melt and and ruin my table, and then I can't eat it later. So it's in the freezer that I will most likely partake in later. But yeah, that was the snack I got to enjoy while watching Star Wars. What was your um, treat or snack, or if you had something, what were the things that you had with it? Popcorn. Thanks, Tammy. Welcome, welcome. Yeah, I think for this next week's movie, I bought popcorn in my last grocery shop, so I'm finally be able to just have regular popcorn. Dinner, absolutely. It's definitely one of those long films that you could have a meal with it. Ooh, ice cream with chocolate sauce. Excellent choice. Now that summer is here, I feel like frozen foods are exactly what is called for. So, um, yeah, awesome. Well, I'm glad you guys got to partake in a little bit of a treat while you watched movies this week. And feel free to suggest favorite snacks that you like watching with the movies, and maybe we'll share some recipes with each other or favorite combinations of things as these weeks go on. That would be fun. So I'm just going to start off here. As we know, Star Wars takes place in the science fiction realm of fantasy. Um, and so there's definitely a lot of. Um, so, though technically it's in a galaxy a long time ago, in a galaxy far, far away, um, there is still a lot of advanced technologies, especially if we consider this was made in the 70s, um, that are kind of introduced in these kind of films. So, my first question is, what's the most unbelievable, or maybe you were just like, oh, it'd be really cool if we had that technology or device or gadget that you saw in this film? And just for those who are watching at home or at a future date, I just allow for these breaks for those commenting in chat at a time, or for you at home to converse with amongst yourselves. So feel free to talk amongst yourselves if you are watching this and not participating in chat as well. Deerfield, those flying speeders. Yeah, the hover. Now, do you mean when they're on Tatooine with the desert, or are you talking about a different speeder that I'm forgetting? I totally can't say. The Death Star that can destroy a whole planet. I still love that, though it could cause so much destruction, it had such, I guess, not easy weak point, since, many Bothans died for those plans. But it was still like, I was considering this when I was watching it. They said, like, the size of the port was 2 meters long. And I went, that's how much distance we're supposed to keep when we're social distancing. Like, that's 6 feet. Like, when our government says, like, keep 2 meters apart, that's the size of the port that they had to hit with their torpedoes. And so when I was watching it, I was just like, oh, now I know in my brain, because we've done the social distancing thing for so long now, what kind of size they're talking about. The Star Destroyers are super cool. Um, and yeah, the things. I like the speeders. Um, Again, I'm a bit of a fan when it comes to the Star Wars universe. So the speeders themselves had wheels, and the way that they went about, I don't know if you know this, but the way that they went about making them look like they hovered is that back in the 70s, they put strategic mirrors between the camera and the wheels so that it looked like, and then they could like color in with special effects and things like that as well. But they used mirror tech as well as kind of like green tech to do there. Um, yeah, so that was that. Um, Favorite line. Oh, I'm just looking. I love the hello there. Dapper Q. Another question just kind of thrown out there. If you have a favorite character, let us know. Mine in all of the Star Wars universe is Obi-Wan Kenobi. Fell in love with that character through New Hope. And I started saying hello there as a kid because Obi-Wan says hello there. Like, that's how I picked up that little bit of thing. So a little behind my own backstory. Yeah, so it was really cool. I really like the idea of, um, it's gonna sound really strange, but the hollow chess. I just like the idea of a board game that you don't have to like buy a box and it's just there and then all the pieces and things like that. And I know we have like just for me like I like video games, but I don't always like sitting in front of a screen. And I love board gaming, but some of the board games I like have like a lot of pieces and stuff attached to it. And so like the idea of like a holographic board game sounds really cool to me. So that would be me. Um, yeah, great to see some of the iconic characters coming out too. We'll carry on. Thanks for sharing what kind of your favorite tech in the movie was. Yeah, some really incredible thoughts. And I think for us now in 2020, some of the things like communicators and droids and, you know, some of these other technology pieces that for people in the 70s didn't look like a possibility, but now we're just like, yeah, I mean, we have phones. We have, you know, all this other tech. It's really cool to see how some of these science fiction films, those things can, into some way, come to light. So I always really like that genre. All right. Our next question. Who do... Oh, I didn't write this question very well. How do you respond in a situation? Do you respond to a problem situation? I'm sorry that the question on the screen is so badly worded. Do you respond to a situation similar to C3PO as he responds, or R2D2? So when I was watching the film, I just saw this interesting dynamic that when chaos ensued, C3PO, the golden droid, the protocol droid, responded very differently than R2D2 would in those situations, the white and blue asteroid droid. So my question was, how do you typically respond in something that, you know, when a situation changes or you find yourself with a problem or an issue or something along those lines? How do you tend to respond? Yeah, I kind of looked at it like C3PO was very like a little bit of panic, in some cases a lot of panic, worry, but like looking for answers, looking for a solution, problem solving, very kind of analytical, in some cases more pessimistic, where like R2D2 faced, he was just like very determined, very like, we got to do this thing, we got to do it now, very driven, a bit one dimensional, like, I got to do this thing even if it means like get caught by sand people and Jawas and get sold off to a farm on this desert planet. Like, he doesn't take the time to think through possible solutions like C3PO would. Um, but it's really interesting to kind of see these two different personalities come out in regards to conflict resolution. Um, Definitely more like C3PO. Yeah, I think, Amy, I relate to you where it's like I would really like to be more like R2D2. I think both possess really good qualities to problem solving and conflict management, but they also have really significant downsides. I think R2D2, because he has the message and stuff, is played off very heroic, but ultimately it's like when a problem happens, it's like there is a there's a good thing about being like very like this is the job we do. But he's very much like, go find Obi, go find Kenobi, go find Kenobi, go find Kenobi, and not like, we need to like not die out here in the desert, which is what C-3PO is concerned with when they land on the planet, right? Um, so yeah, so I think I respond similar to C-3PO, if I'm going to be honest. Um, I am very driven and stuff, but it's like as soon as a problem arises, like I am a warrior. I am a, okay, come up with every solution that I possibly can and come up with the best plan, which isn't always great because then you can get stuck in that rut, um, like C-3PO often is. But yeah, probably C-3PO. Uh, yeah, it's interesting. We can come to similarities in regards to these very mechanical characters that possess really personal and human traits, which is another aspect of the sci-fi genre I like. Thank you for your insights, everybody. What are some things that people rely on or hope for in life? So, in regards to the theme of Star Wars: A New Hope, is that it's a new hope. You know, there's a lot of characters that put their hope in things or hope for things. And so, and we get to see them on this journey of when things pan out and the thing that they hope for succeeds, or in regards to the Empire, when things that they hope for don't turn out the way they want them to turn out. Um, so I wanted to ask on you, what are some things that people, either in the film Star Wars, or even in general, what are some things that you see people rely on, or things that people hope for or hold on to in their lives? I'll give a couple seconds for people to write answers and think about that, because I know it's a big question. So I'll read a few of the answers, but feel free to keep writing them in or conversing at home. Um, Money, friends, family, retiring well, health, future that they want. Yeah, absolutely. Happiness forever. Um, yeah, there's this a lot of hope in our world, in general, on kind of financial success or financial security, um, for health, for prosperity, if that looks like material prosperity, like things we have, or um, relational prosperity, so like the people we know or the connections we have. Um, there's a lot of kind of that, like we hope for those things in life. We put a lot of energy towards wanting to achieve those things, or have access to those things. Absolutely. Um, in Star Wars, yeah, they rely on destroying the Death Star. Absolutely. Um, the rebellion has hope that they won't be oppressed by the Empire forever. They have the hope that, you know, their little rebellion uh, will encourage others to act out, but as well as overtake the Empire. Um, Absolutely. I always, what also really spawned to me is that like the things that people hoped for in the movie changed. So like Luke, we first meet Luke Skywalker in Tatooine, and he's like, I'm gonna go to the academy. I'm gonna go to school, and I'm gonna be a pilot. And his uncle goes, no, no, I need you for one more season. And so his hope was in this academy, which I could only assume was run by the Empire, but I have no idea. Um, and that was his hope. And then when his life kind of got drawn due to the death of his aunt and uncle and the destruction of his farm and learning who his father, was, and more about Obi-Wan Kenobi and things along those lines, it changed to, like hope in this idea of the Force, hope in the mission that R2D2 and Princess Leia presented, um, changed. So it was interesting to see even that character's hope, or what that character hoped for or longed for, changed due to circumstance. Uh, yeah, absolutely. Any other insights? I'm just gonna let a few more minutes because I know it's a big question. So I'll do a couple more seconds of thinking that through. Tammy, I like what you're saying. Hope for a new beginning. Hope for everyone's safety. I think that's a hope that a lot of us are holding on to. Hoping for safety, hoping for health, and new beginnings. Thanks, everyone, for sharing those insights. My final question for our group tonight, before I kind of go to my final thought, is this idea of what is difficult about placing our hope in Jesus? What is difficult or what is challenging about the idea of placing our hope in God, in Jesus Christ being our Savior, in the Holy Spirit? What is challenging about that, or what can be challenging for others, or even for yourself? What has been challenging for you? If you feel safe enough to express, I'd be happy to hear your thoughts. So I'm just going to share a few. Feel free to keep writing or keep thinking. Losing faith in Him. Amy letting go of control or having to trust Him to be enough. Not being in control can be scary. Absolutely. The idea of surrendering all that we have, all that we are, and all the outcomes, because we have hope that God is in control, is a very scary, very vulnerable position to be in. It can feel very insecure, when in reality it's the most secure place we can be, because then we know, if our hope is in that our God is in control and has full power and full knowledge, that it is for our benefit, even if we may not like it in the moments of things happening. Trusting that God knows what's best for us. It's a piece of the human condition. Thanks for sharing with that, Amy. That is always very difficult, and that can hold us back from placing our hope in Jesus. Absolutely. I think the other thing that makes it difficult to placing our hope in Jesus is that it's a very big, eternal thought versus a immediate reward. When we place things in money or material or relationship, we're gonna achieve those things or see those things very quickly. Especially if you compare it to eternal, everlasting, forever reward. And I know for me, in my experience, my mind and the human condition and the human mind is very fickle and very, I want things now, very impatient. And so I think it's hard to place our hope in something that is so much bigger or may take longer to see to the full extent, in some cases. So that was my thought in regards to why it would be difficult. So when thinking about this idea of hope and placing our hope in things and wanting to place our hope in God for all those reasons, that we trust in him because he's in control. He knows our best benefit. Um, and, we trust that he's what he says is true. Um, there was this verse that came to mind, uh, which is from 2 Corinthians chapter 4, and it says this: "So we do not lose heart. Though our outer self is wasting away, our inner self is being renewed day by day. For this light momentary affliction is preparing us for an eternal weight of glory beyond all comparison, as we look not to the things that are seen, but to the things that are unseen. For the things that are seen are transient, but the things that are unseen are eternal." And I just think of, I just saw that my screen cuts off the unseen are eternal, is the word there. I'm actually going to transition myself to this so that way you guys can see it as you hear me. It's really interesting that I think of the phrase that Han Solo said when Luke and Obi-Wan are in the Millennium Falcon, and they talked about the belief in something that couldn't be seen as an ancient religion, or foolish, or not something to be trusted. And though the Force is not what we live for, let me make that clear. The Force is a concept by George Lucas that is strictly and very much embedded in New Age spiritualism and Buddhism and Hinduism, Eastern religions and Eastern thought. It is still the idea that we put our trust in something unseen may seem foolish to others, but we know that putting our faith in God and putting our faith in Christ and what he did on the cross and what he continues to do, how the Holy Spirit moves in us, those unseen things are eternal. They have an eternal value to them, where things like money or reward, even relationships with friends, families, spouses, significant others, neighbors, children, parents, those can be very, very temporary. They're only of this world. Though, and some of the comforts of this world seem very comfortable and very good, but they only last for a certain time. And so I just wanted to, especially in this time of COVID and us being separated and things are starting to reopen, I just wanted to take a look and at this verse where it says, "Don't lose heart. Know that though we're getting tired of being at home all the time, we're getting tired of having to do extra precautions for going out grocery shopping or seeing people and having limitations and stuff like that, do not lose heart, for God will sustain us through these things." And it's our belief in what some people would call an invisible God, but we know as disciples of Jesus that he makes himself very aware in our lives, that we will come on top of this, and that we don't have to lose heart. So that was just my little final thought for the night as we go over our half-hour timeline here. Thank you so much for all those in the chat tonight for participating and being involved. Especially, I know a couple of you were saying that you might have not seen the movie, or it's been a while since you've seen the movie. Thank you for being part of it. Maybe in the comments below, let us know favorite movie quote or scene or character from Star Wars: A New Hope, as well as if you have any requests of movies that you'd like the movie club to watch or consider having conversations about. Feel free to be a part of the community and suggest a way. We have figured out our movies for this next month. But always looking for suggestions, especially since it looks like we'll probably be keeping this up for the summer. So yeah, so looking forward to seeing if there are any suggestions here in live chat or in the comments below. Feel free to do that. Um, So, just before we end tonight, I wanted to not only thank you all for being here, but also since we had the big announcement for Bless Up and Paula came into our live chat last week, thank you all of you who were part of Bless Up and signed up. I think you will really be encouraged and be giving kind of new hope in this season using their community. If you don't know what Bless Up is, it's a new text ministry that my fellow youth worker from Youth Unlimited is running. Her name is Paula, as well as many other staff members, where they send periodic texts to young people that to offer encouragement, to offer hope. And though not all the time will Jesus be mentioned, it is in hopes that people will be led to Christ. They're going through their first pilot right now, so they're talking about getting feedback and things like that. So if this is something that you want to take part in, I'm just in chat right now going to type in their email address. Or if you'd like more information, please contact the Bless Up team at blessup@yugta.ca. I know a few of you did partake in that last week, but if it is something that you might be wanting to be a part of again, feel free to take part in that. Also, Movie Club is part of a wider community of ministry as Doxa Ministry. Most of you are connected through us already. We've been doing a monthly live stream ever since the social distancing has begun. And so this Friday, where Doxa Toronto will be hosting our June month gathering on YouTube live stream, as well as the Zoom after party. Those links are going to be sent out later on this week. We're just finalizing a few details, and those will be sent off to youth workers. But if you'd like, you can search. I'm going to type in a chat as well for Doxa Toronto here on YouTube, and you can actually subscribe to their channel, so that way you are aware of when the link is live. So please feel free to subscribe to the Doxa Toronto channel, so that you know whenever our monthly gatherings are coming up into play. But that is this Friday at 7:30. I think it's 7:30. We'll be doing more formal announcements, and I'll be posting announcements and stuff on my own social medias as well. But please, if you like Movie Club and you'd like to be part of a wider community, feel free to be a part of that. And now for the announcement you're all waiting for. What is next week's movie? So next week's movie was a suggestion from the community. We're really glad to be receiving the suggestion. It was really, really great. And so our movie this week will be Aladdin, the 2019 remake, with Mina and Will and Naomi, and I think those are the three main characters. Yes. So Aladdin and Jasmine and Genie. So Aladdin, the 2019 remake. It is, let me pull this up. It is being live streamed right now through YouTube Rental, Cineplex Rental, Apple iTunes Rental, Google Play, Disney Plus memberships. It's not on Amazon Prime, but you can rent it through Amazon as well. So that is where you can find it. A warning for this movie, as it is a remake of an animated classic. Most of us know it, as well as very popular when it came out last year. It does have the use of magic in it, magic genies, magic wishes. Jafar uses sorcery, various other different forms of magic carpets, magic caves. So if this is a topic that you are not comfortable with watching, or your family is not comfortable with watching, please know you are not mandated nor required to watch any of the movies that we recommend. But we hope to have you available in chat to talk about its themes, as well as catch you on for the next week. As well, because it is live action and not animated, it is a PG film, and there are more action scenes within it than the animation. So not as action-based or frightening as Star Wars had in regards to sci-fi battles and combat, but it does have senses of action within it. So just fair warning to anybody who may not want to partake for those reasons. You're more than happy to skip if you'd like. Yes, I did see that comment, Amy. Definitely less midriff than the animated version. Because this is our, I think, first remake, which isn't very hard because we have only been at this for 2 months. But because this is our first remake, I'm going to be posting a bonus challenge for anybody who may want on Wednesday, which will be to watch the animated version as well. So that can also be found on rental streams as well as on Disney Plus, and to maybe have a conversation of what changed between the animated original at 1992 and the live action remake in 2019. What changes? What did you prefer? What did you wish that they had kept in? Things along those lines. Kind of a critical analysis of how remakes are done. So I'll be posting that bonus challenge up this week, for our next film, the Aladdin. So if you do want to partake in that bonus, again, it's totally bonus. So our live stream won't be based on it. It'll be based on just the 2019 film. But I thought, since we have access, why not try for a little extra credit if you're looking for something to do with your families this week. That is all for me. Thank you so much, everybody, for coming on the live stream today and for watching. For those who are watching at a future date, thank you so much for clicking on this video. Feel free to like, to subscribe to the channel, keep following the Monday Movie Club hashtag. Just a reminder again for all new teens to be having your parents fill out the Movie Club permission form, just so that we have access and just your permission to be here and be partaking in the live stream. That's it for me. I'm going to stop rambling and let you all go. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you enjoy the movies.